Greetings. This will be an important video regarding Mount Nyiragongo, the volcano which is located in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Now this volcano has erupted violently in 1977, 2002 and most recent 2021. All of them have very significant planetary stations associated prior to these volcanic eruptions. Now I do see a period ahead where there could be fairly significant volcanic eruption for the volcano, and I will be listing them in this video. Goma is probably the most dangerous city in the world due to its proximity of a major and dangerous volcano, Mount Nyiragongo, and the threat of a dangerous event not only through the volcano but also earthquakes as well as fissures opening up in between and also through the city of Goma itself. With just 2 kilometres of separation of this major and dangerous volcano to the city, the worry is that a future volcanic eruption could cause significant damage for the population as well as the potential for a major loss of life. Now the extreme danger of Mount Nyiragongo is its 2 kilometre wide lava lake, and the worry is that a future volcanic eruption could send the entire 2 kilometre lava lake downhill into the city of Goma. I'm now going to be showing using astrocartography the previous Mount Nyiragongo volcanic eruptions, the first of which is in 1977. If we go back to 1975, 2 years prior to the volcanic eruption, note that we have a planetary station of Uranus situated just to the western side of the volcano complex. The next volcanic eruption for Mount Nyiragongo was in 2002, and 3 years prior to this volcanic eruption we have a very important and significant planetary station of Saturn, again just to the western side of the volcano complex. And looking at the most recent volcanic eruption which occurred in Mount Nyiragongo in 2021. Now this volcanic eruption was preceded by planetary stations of Uranus not only in 2017 in the month of July but also in 2019, and both of these planetary stations again just to the western side of the volcano complex and preceded this volcanic eruption by 4 and 2 years. Now Uranus was quite important in 2017 and 19 with its stations, but importantly was also having a very powerful interaction with both nodes at 29 degrees. Now as it makes this perfect interaction with the nodes, it opposes Venus, which enhances this nodal aspect, but also there's a strong interaction on this day between Sun and Mars at square aspect. But if we have a look at the node and also the connection between Uranus and Venus just to the western side of the volcano complex. This is the exact date of the eruption, the 22nd of August of 2021. And note that on this day, Uranus is making a station and also Venus is having an interaction with both nodes at perfect trine aspect with the north node. So there's some very interesting symmetry. If we note a near planetary alignment between Mercury and Mars, which occurred just a day and a half prior, and also the Sun was opposing Jupiter as well at the time of the volcanic eruption. So it's fairly obvious that these volcanic eruptions for Mount Nyiragongo were preceded by fairly significant planetary stations. Just looking at the most recent volcanic eruption and the positions of Uranus at both of these stations, we do have 2 other planetary stations coming in 2027 and 2029 involving Jupiter and Saturn, and these are slightly further to the west, but well worth noting. Now comparing the upcoming stations of Saturn and Jupiter in 2027 and 2029 with respect to the Uranus stations of 2017 and 2019, as we can see they are much further out. So it's unlikely that the Jupiter and Saturn stations later on this decade could initiate any volcanic activity for the region, but definitely something to consider. But I have found a period coming up in 2037 into 2039. Now specifically the 2037 station of Neptune is highly significant and much closer than the previous stations that preceded volcanic eruptions for Mount Nyiragongo. I do feel that this station of Neptune is highly potent as it's connected into both nodes, perfect square aspect, and also we get a square aspect between Sun and Mars taking place on this day as well. So I do feel that this station is highly significant and it may mean a major volcanic eruption much larger than the previous volcanic eruptions over the last 100 years. Now in the 2039 time frame we get Uranus making a station on its ascending node pretty much right over the volcano as well. So I do feel that both stations of 2037 and 2039 may be fairly significant foreshadows for a major volcanic eruption for Mount Nyiragongo.
something that's really important to note is this eruption, as far as anyone can tell at the moment, didn't have any precursors, so it had no warning signs. So more often than not, volcanoes do something to indicate that they are probably going to erupt. There's no certainty, but often there's a distinct change in the gas coming out of them, the shape of the volcano, or the earthquakes they make. And if there's a change in all three, generally you think, well, okay, maybe there's an eruption coming. But in this case, scientists have looked at the data and they haven't yet found any clear indication of a precursor, which means that this eruption genuinely did happen as a surprise.
That concludes this short video. Thanks for watching.